Hi, Wim Dijkgraaf here with a new tutorial about integrating your own ERP system with Rhodium or any system. It can be a CAM system, a manufacturing execution system, anything. What I'm going to show you is the scenario in which we use a locally installed Rhodium 24 agent. Locally meaning on premises, so on a server in your own factory. What happens is I will show you where to set up in Rhodium an agent. We suppose that you have installed the agent. Contact us if you want to have that installed and we help you. It's a very simple procedure. And then you have a whole Internet of Things infrastructure set up. So Rhodium uses Azure Internet of Things to send events or messages to agents, and those agents perform those commands, grab stuff from the cloud, etc. And I'm going to show you how that works. So let's switch first to Rhodium. We have a project here. If we go to Settings, to Integrations, you see three ways that you can integrate, actually four ways, but you see three here. What we are going to focus on is Rhodium 24 agents. And I've set up my own agent here, agent Wim Dijkgraaf. It's a executable written in .NET Core 5, so it runs on Windows, Linux, on a Mac OS, whatever you want. If you run it on the Windows, you can run it as a Windows service, so when the machine reboots, the agent also will be started automatically. And every agent has an ID. So if you do this, add new agent, under the hood, what actually happens is that an IoT device in Azure IoT management will be provisioned, and this will be the ID of that device. And the Rhodium agent that you installed on premises acts as an IoT device. You can give it a name, and this is the folder where stuff will be downloaded by the agent. For example, step files or the whole project file or whatsoever. I will show you. There is a keep alive signal. We set it up every 20 seconds. So as soon as you have done that, and the only thing you have to do is copy and paste this idea and configure your agent with this idea in a settings file, very easy to do in Notepad. Then, and let me now switch to the agent which is running, then you will have an agent up and running. So if I scroll up a little bit, you see that the agent started here, hosting started. It will retrieve a settings file over here. It will update its settings file. So all the settings you can done from within Rhodium. And it will grab the settings from Rhodium, from the cloud. And then you see that it starts listening. And these are the keep alive messages, which will happen every 20 seconds. You can see that over here. Every 20 seconds, because remember that let me switch to that screen. Remember that here we configured it to 20 seconds. Okay, now the agent is listening. Let's go to a project and see what happens. We open this project, which is in the defining state. The first, out of the box, by the way, Rhodium will act with the agent or send a command to the agent whenever the status is quoted or ordered. So as soon as I put this status in quoted, let's do that. Then we switch to the agent and we see many things happening. Command received. Command new status received. So the agent knows that the project has a new status, and what you will find here is that it received things, agent command download file, agent command download file. Okay, so the agent has done a couple of things. Let me visualize that now. So if we go back to the agent settings page, integrations agent, then we see that the agent uses this as a root folder. So if we gonna have a look at that root folder, then you see a couple of things. This is, by the way, an ERP system. This is input, this is output. Let's see what is in input. Nothing in input. What is output? Hey, we see things happening. And this is because we set the project to the status quoted. What it did is two things. It downloaded a JSON file with all the information in the project. Everything that you see on the screen, all the calculated values are inside the JSON file, and a zip file with all the step files, as well as UBL XML files. If we have a look here, then you see this. Yeah, this looks horribly, of course. Online JSON viewer. Let's see what happened here. Online JSON viewer. I picked the wrong JSON viewer, sorry for that. So let's paste it here. So here you see the content of this. So we have a bill of material and bill of labor. Bill of material has all the assemblies, all the parts. Remember, this is the this project. So you see that it has 3 parts and 1 assembly. So if we look at the JSON, we see a bill of materials with 1 assembly and 3 parts. We also see nesting results in 2D, and we see price summaries. If you go and have a look at the part list, part 1, this is the thumbnail in 3D. So it's inside of the in the JSON file. You see the let me see, you see the original file name, where it came from. You see the material that has been selected. This is all documented separately, by the way. The 2D thumbnail as well. So that's the... Here we see the labor, that's what I was looking for. 1 and 3. 1 is laser cutting, 3 is bending. You also see estimations here. So you see an estimation for the working step, 3 working steps. And you see here the production time estimated with a unit of measure in seconds and a value of 60, and you see additional costs, which is probably 0. We always explicitly define the units of measure as well as the currencies. So don't worry about that. Then the external code, this could be a code that you use in your ERP system for this specific working step. So this is just to give you an impression of what it is that is in the JSON file, and everything is in there. Let's go back to the C drive agent over here, and have a look at the zip file. So in the zip file, what you will find is UBL documents. So what we see here is a quotation document, a UBL quotation. UBL stands for Universal Business Language. if you universal business language, you will find OASIS, which is the Standardization Institute. You will find all information about UBL documents here. What we do is UBL version 2.1. So everything in that document you will find here. It can be used for connections with ERP systems as well. Maybe your ERP system is even capable of reading UBL documents out of the box. It could be. Also the Smart Connected Suppliers Network, which is a Dutch initiative, Dutch-German initiative for document interchange. They use this same format. So this can be used. If you look at UBL quotation selling party, this has all the details about production data and cost prices, all in an XML document, as well as the thumbnails, etc. Let me go back. The buying party is a UBL document that you can send to your client, to your customer, which doesn't have the cost prices, which doesn't have the production times. It only has the sales prices. And we also have the request for quotation always generated. So if you create a quotation, we also create a request for quotation for whatever purposes. And what is interesting about this document is that the whole step files are embedded here as well. So you see the original assembly step file, and then grouped in folders, the documents for sheet bending, for sheet cutting, the documents, and then grouped by material. So this is the assigned material with the step file here, and here the unassigned material with step files here. So what you see is that Rhodium disassembled the assembly file, the base step file, disassembled it, created separate step files, and all those step files you will find here categorized. So that means that the agent, when you set the project in a specific state, sends commands to the agent, and the agent will receive the JSON file with all the information about the project, as well as a zip file with all the related documents for further processing in your ERP system or CAM systems. Now, this agent we created for factories to run on-premise. Behind the agent, you can run your own integration. And to make that as simple as possible, you will find a Rhodium integration quick start on GitHub with an .NET 5 core based host that you can just run as a starter project, which will listen to commands from the agent or output from the agent, such that you can create your own integration with your ERP system or with your CAM system. So this is a marvelous starting point if you write C# code. It means that we have all the contracts to deserialize from a JSON file into POCOs, plain common C# objects, in order for further processing or transforming into an XML file or whatever format you want. So I hope this gives you a clear overview, more or less, of what is possible out of the box. And have a lot of fun.